Question 21 says, the more excess reserves banks decides to keep, that means if banks are trying to hold on to more of their cash, that means they will lend less money and there might be less money supply therefore, right? So we can pick D as the correct answer. Smaller the money supply, the more excess reserves banks decide to keep. 22. If deposit insurance exists, bank managers may make dash than they would have otherwise. Which is an example of dash? Now keep in mind that as a bank manager you make more commissions and bonuses the more loans you can give. So now if as a bank manager you knew that this deposit insurance which is given by the government is existing for a bank, then you don't have to care about what happens when the bank goes down or bank is unable to repay the depositors. You are just motivated by your short-run goals of earning more commissions by generating more loans. So chances are you might end up giving riskier loans if loans are insured, and this is an example of moral hazard which occurs after a contract is signed. Here, deposit insurance contract has been signed between the bank and the government, and after this contract the manager is behaving in a very risky way, so that's a moral hazard problem. I will pick choice A therefore as the correct answer. 23. Assume that desired reserve ratios are 20% if the Bank of Canada, this is Central Bank of Canada, BOC, buys $2,000 worth of bond from a member bank, which is a chartered bank. Then in the banking system can increase or decrease loans, etc. What will happen, that we have to figure out. So I can see that Bank of Canada is just injecting $2,000 of fresh reserve into the chartered bank. If you wanted to see it in terms of a balance table, then suppose this is my member bank. Say that bank is called Bank 1. Asset, liability, and in this case chartered bank, Bank 1 is giving its bonds to Bank of Canada, so there will be a change of negative $2,000 worth of bonds because these are going away from Bank 1, and in return it is getting a fresh injection of cash, i.e. reserve, from Bank of Canada, and reserve is also Bank 1's assets, so I'll write it on the asset side. $2,000 of fresh reserve is being added to this bank. Now notice that this entire amount of reserve is excess reserve for change in excess reserve for Bank 1 because there is no change in deposit, there is no change in the liability side. So this entire amount is the excess reserve that Bank 1 can now lend. And from the concept of simple money multiplier, we know that total change in money supply, by the way this Greek letter delta denotes change in money supply, will be this initial injection or initial change in monetary base or reserve added by Bank of Canada into the banking system times the multiplier, which is 1 over the desired reserve ratio in our question. That ratio is 20%, i.e. 0.2. So if you plug in the value of 0.2, which 1 divided by 0.2, you'll find the value of the multiplier to be 5, and that tells us the potential increase in money supply can be up to $10,000 in this economy. So I can say total increase in loans, i.e. deposits, will be maximum $10,000. So D is the right answer here. 24. Ancient goldsmiths were able to practice an early form of fractional reserve banking because they knew what? We know that in the medieval England, people used to safekeep their golds with goldsmith, and then goldsmiths came to know that not every depositor is coming back to them on a daily basis to withdraw all their golds. So lots of golds are sitting idle, and therefore goldsmiths started keeping just a fraction of the deposited gold as reserve and lending the rest of the gold to other people as loans so that they can make some interest earning. So I can pick choice A as the right answer by saying not all depositors would claim their gold on the same time. Question 25, last question. The actual money multiplier in the real world is often smaller than what we have learned from our concept of simple money multiplier because of what? We saw there are two reasons why actual money multiplier can be smaller than the simple money multiplier. Reason one is banks sometimes can hold more cash or excess reserve because sometimes they might feel uneasy to lend to anybody, and very often people do not hold all their money as deposit. They also keep currency as cash. So we call that in our textbook language a currency drain from the banking system. And these two reasons cause less lending and therefore less consecutive deposits and therefore less money supply than what we saw from the simple money multipliers concept. So I can mark A as the right answer. So that's the end of the multiple choice section of this sample test 2 that I posted on Leah. I'll try to come back to you with some more answers later on. For now, I'll say bye.